Hi, Michaela here with Honest Birth Talk, and today I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks on how to conquer or at least alleviate some of that morning sickness that you might be experiencing. So let's get to it. Tip number one is to eat a little bit and often. We don't want to put too much food into our bodies because then it can make us feel more sick and more nauseous. But at the same time, you don't want to have an empty stomach because that can also make you more sick and more nauseous. So little bits and often. Tip number two, you want to make sure that you're eating food that is high in protein. Typically, when you're pregnant, a woman needs they need 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. I know, that sounds like a lot, but trust me, with the right foods and snacking throughout the day, you'll be able to get that in no time. So keeping snacks in your purse or in the car or anywhere that you might be is a great tip on helping with morning sickness. Tip number three, eating cold meals versus hot meals. What does that do? Well, when you're cooking, that tends to release some aromas that when you're not pregnant might sound amazing, but when you are pregnant, it could actually add to that feeling of nausea and sickness. So with cold meals, it's not that hard to throw together a salad that's could be high in protein. You can get some maybe pre-cooked chicken breasts or some pre-hard-boiled eggs, dice them up, maybe some chopped nuts, throw them on your salad, and you're good to go. Tip number four is breakfast in bed. Hello, who doesn't like breakfast in bed? All right. I know that that's not feasible every single day. So what I mean by that is keep something next to your bed. Maybe some saltine crackers, something light that you can just grab before your feet hit the floor. Because again, having an empty stomach can just make you feel even worse. Tip number five, sip on your water. Instead of guzzling water that can just leave your stomach feeling full and yucky, just take some tiny sips throughout the day and preferably in between meals. So that way your body has time to process it. But I want you to remember, stay hydrated. Staying hydrated is absolutely a must, even if it's during the winter and cold months. You've got to stay hydrated while you're pregnant. Tip number six, rest. Ha, I laughed at that one too. I know this life is busy, but lack of rest and stress and being overtired can definitely make you feel worse. And that morning sickness or everyday sickness can get the best of you. So make sure you're taking some time to put up your feet and rest and relax. Tip number seven, lemons. Lemons have a nice fresh scent, and smelling some lemons can be helpful for your morning sickness or nausea. Or you can dice them up or slice them up and put them in your water. That might help alleviate some of that sickness as well. Tip number eight, ginger. I love ginger. I know not everybody does, but you can get ginger chews, you can get ginger lollipops, or even put a little bit of fresh grated ginger in a cup of warm water and sip on that throughout the day. Those can be very helpful if you're feeling icky, and it can help settle your stomach. Tip number nine. We at Honest Birth Talk are huge advocates of essential oils, but not every essential oil is treated equally. So we want to make sure that if you're going to use essential oils, that you use ones that are pure. And we don't recommend buying them off of Amazon because you don't actually know what you're going to get. That being said, peppermint oil can be a huge help. You can either put it on a cotton ball and just smell it, or you can put it on your wrists or diffuse it throughout the air, and that can sometimes help alleviate some of your morning sickness and nausea as well. And tip number 10 would be vitamins. So here's the thing. For me, when I took my prenatal vitamins that had iron in them, the iron was actually what was causing some of my sickness. So I had to find some vitamins that didn't have iron in them. Or what I did instead was I made sure that the food I ate was a well-balanced diet, that I got lots of vitamins and minerals. But sometimes doctors will prescribe to you a vitamin B6 to help with nausea and sickness, because vitamin B6 is known to help alleviate some of that. Anyways, I hope these tips and tricks are going to help you and that you can combat that morning, evening, day, night, all time sickness and have a wonderful pregnancy. Thanks for listening.